Ramblin man here. Okay, so I know y'all have watched over and over and over again all the stuff on COVID-19. I'm about over it. I know the rest of y'all are probably tired of it. My wife, which works in the healthcare industry, for her to say, I'm so over being locked up and locked down and feel like I'm being held prisoner by a pandemic that, let's be honest, like the flu takes thousands of lives every year. Tuberculosis takes millions of lives, but we're worried about COVID. Now, I have friends and family members that have gotten COVID. I have some that had bad repercussions from it, right? So they have bad symptoms, bad lingering effects from the COVID-19. So I'm not in any way saying COVID-19 is not a problem or it's not an illness that you should be worried about. But what I am saying is that we've blown it way out of proportion. If you think about, there are like 5 different presidents, including the one from Haiti, one from the Ivory Coast, and like 3 others that were in the last few months have been assassinated. These were all presidents that said, I don't want the vaccine in my country. Look it up. You can read all about it. But they said, we don't want the vaccine here. So what do? You have someone assassinate them. Then if you look up all your, I'm telling you, just do some research, because now they're having ties to 2 federal law enforcement officers, former law enforcement officers here in the U.S. that helped plan it. It took months to plan. So why is that? Why is the UN sitting in Utah right now? Look it up. Why are they in Toronto? When the UN comes in, they come in, and I've said it before, but I'm telling you, I think it's time for us to move on from the UN. The United Nations has gotten to be where it's more of control, and I'm tired of being controlled. I tell you, when the U.S., when America became America, we had a bunch of men that were flawed, that did the best they could to set up rules and laws that would make people equal, that would help people to be able to do what they want to do with freedom. And they went ahead and wrote those laws in there: freedom of speech, right to bear arms, right to vote, things like that. And over the years we've gone through and made changes to that, where we allow people of color to vote when they should have been allowed from the very beginning. But abolishing slavery, allowing people to vote, black people of color to vote, allowing women to vote, and we've come a long way. And I feel like right now there's a big division right now, and a lot of that, if you look at it right now, yeah, we've already had things happen from the time of Colin Kaepernick, but then when you turn around, and the big issue came in COVID-19. COVID-19, I think, is a big sham. And I'm not saying this, like I said, I'm not saying that there's nothing to it. What I'm saying is they're using it all kinds of ways. The Texas Democrats left and fled Texas so they wouldn't have to vote on a bill with voting changes. I call them that. I wouldn't call them restrictions, because they're adding more hours, things like that. But they fled and went to D.C. And while they're there, now they're catching COVID. 5 of them already have tested positive. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be more. But these are all supposedly vaccinated people. Well, that's what they told us. So one of 2 things: either vaccinated people are getting COVID, or they're lying to us so they can stay there longer. Then as far as COVID-19 is concerned, everybody's pushing that, it's safe, it's perfectly safe. But the Democrats themselves, Biden, Kamala, said, I wouldn't take it because Trump's saying we should take it. But then afterwards, it's not like they got a new vaccine. No, same vaccine, but now they're pushing it. Now they're going door to door. So my question is this: if they're going door to door to give COVID-19 shots, right? I mean, to push the idea of when you'll get our shots, why couldn't you go to door to get people to vote, or take them to vote? What's the difference? It's just one other reason why the Democrats can have illegals come in, have them vote, because you don't have to have an ID. I mean, you see where I'm going with this. But COVID-19, like I'm telling you, it's just a stepping stone and something that somebody can hold over your head in order to control. Why are people? They said okay, so they went through and in California, they put the mask mandate back in place for LA County. Well, it's like 11 different counties all around the area of LA. Now, within that though, they said, well, the reason we're doing that is because the unvaccinated. So what they don't tell you, like they say that the vaccinated won't die. Yeah, right. There are, let's say, out of every 200 people that pass away from COVID-19 now, one of those is vaccinated. Now, it can be because there's not as many vaccinated people yet, but it also could be that the vaccines help some, but at what cost? There's just too many unknowns, and for someone to push it so hard for people to get a vaccine after they said they wouldn't take it, but now they're pushing for it, there's just too many unknowns there. I'm telling you right now, I don't trust it. I don't trust the people behind it. And when you have a blubbering idiot that is running our country right now, that some people say, oh, he's just such a great man. He's not. If you can find how he is a great man, please let me know. Tell me, if you can tell me why you voted for Biden, not why you didn't vote for Trump. And if your reason for voting for Biden was because I didn't want to vote for Trump, that's not really a good reason. That is a alternative. Well, I didn't have a choice. That's what it is. Why did you vote for Biden? Why did you think that was a good idea? Because right now his approval rating drops all the time. The only thing keeping him up right now is his what he's done as far as for COVID. People said it was like at 90%. Everybody loves how he's doing with COVID. Well, now it's at 60% approval of how he's done. 18% totally disagreed with what he's done, and like 35% said he's done fine. But like 60% of Americans approve of the way he's handling the COVID-19. Great. Why do you think he pushes that so hard? But here's what's going to really make or break Biden. The economy. Because he's riding on the coattails of what Trump put in place. He's coming off all these jobs he's claiming to have put into place or created, but really it's just jobs that have come back with the lessening of the restrictions of COVID. So when, for lack of a better term, when this shit hits the fan, what is going to define Biden's presidency? I think it's going to come right down to people are going to forget about COVID. At some point, people are just tired of it. Like I mentioned before at the very beginning, my wife's tired of it. People are just tired of it. And so when it comes down to it, how is this economy really going to shape out? What's it going to be? The economy is what is going to make or break Biden's presidency. Mark my words. Y'all let me know what you think about this. Please share, comment, make sure you subscribe. Ramblin' Man, out.